I've got loads to cover today, from yet another hedge fund closing its doors, a short seller ratting everyone out to the feds, and how Citadel is about to go bankrupt as they can't even afford to pay back their own investors. So stay tuned and let's make some money. So let's dive straight in with the key information. You may have heard that short seller Hindenburg Research is now shutting down. So that's yet another moose head for Biotech Moose to add to his wall of meese or mooses. On here already we have tons of massive hedge funds that were well known for shorting AMC and GameStop. We've got Tiger Global, we've got Tyborn Asset Management, we've got Mudrick Capital, Anchorage, Melvin Capital, Archegos, of course, Credit Suisse, Citron Research, and a number of others as well. And now another one of the big guys, Hindenburg Research, that's spoken badly many times on GameStop and AMC, is now closing down to add to the list. Of all of the hedge funds and short sellers that were known for shorting GameStop, I think Citadel is one of the only hedge funds or short sellers that hasn't yet collapsed. Now, there's also some really interesting information about both Hindenburg Research and Anson Funds that's recently been uncovered. So as Kristen tweeted, she said that it's rumoured that Anson Funds offered the feds or offered the SEC over $50 million to reduce their charges, but their offer was rejected. So Anson Funds and its CEO offered to pay the SEC a massive fat fine, bigger than other fines that have been issued in the past, but the SEC actually rejected the offer of this fine. They knew they needed to go further. They knew that Andrew Left needed prison time, which he's now being sentenced for, and that there's also many of these other hedge funds and manipulative short sellers that need to see their time as well. And now Anson Funds is throwing everyone under the bus. This article even says that from what we're hearing, the feds want Moes and his senior team in handcuffs, and that this Moes guy is rolling on tons of people to try and secure himself a better deal. So all in all, we've got Andrew Left from Citron Research, this Moes guy from Anson Funds, and Nate Anderson from Hindenburg Research that are all in big trouble. And Kristen even tweeted saying that Nate Anderson will be charged with securities fraud in 2025, saying that he's a hired gun and has committed securities fraud over and over again. That was her quoting an article, and it went on to say that from what we've read so far, it's almost a certainty that when the whole exchange between Hindenburg and Anson reaches the SEC, Nate Anderson will also be charged with securities fraud in 2025. Saying that, remember, these are court documents and actual emails from Anson Funds, Hindenburg Research, and of course Citron Research that they've all sent, which is irrefutable proof of the funds or the multiple funds and their illegal dealings. So it'll be very interesting to see which of these three top dogs end up snitching first and who they end up snitching on. Also guys, I wanted to quickly talk about this trade we took in the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group on SGBX, where the entire plan for the trade was given before the big breakout happened. We can see in the pre-market I told the group that SGBX had a great move this morning up to the $1.34 resistance level, saying that I'd like to buy it at the breakout of $1.34 and sell on the move up. I then told the group when I bought SGBX when $1.34 broke, and I also told the group when I'd sold my SGBX shares for a total 40% gain. Usually there's one or two trades a day in the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group, and yesterday Robert nailed them both, making $200 on WHLR and $240 on BMRA, both on the same day. So guys, be sure to join the over 750 members in the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group using the link in the description below. Now on to Citadel. Citadel have just performed another $1 billion capital raise. Now before I talk about the previous capital raises that Citadel have done in the past, let's talk about the reason why Citadel have just raised this $1 billion. Where we can see here that Citadel LP, the hedge fund manager founded by Ken Griffin, sold $1 billion of high-grade bonds on Wednesday to fund a payout to its owners. What this is saying is that Citadel doesn't have $1 billion laying around to pay back to their investors. Actually, they need to borrow $1 billion from somebody else and even pay them money to borrow that $1 billion just so they can pay out their investors. Now, before I touch on Biotech Moose's thoughts on this, that to me actually sounds very much like a Ponzi scheme. A Ponzi scheme entirely is when the scheme borrows money from person A to pay off person B, and then they borrow money from person C to pay off person D, and then borrow money from person E to pay off person A and person C, and it all just goes in a loop. Citadel is literally having to borrow money from this person here to pay off this person here. But now, how are they going to pay back this person here? Maybe by borrowing more money in the future. Because as I touched on, that's exactly what's happened in the past tons and tons of times to Citadel. Remember, Citadel first sold a portion of their business to Sequoia Capital and Paradigm back in 2022. Ken Griffin then said in November of 2024 that he'd actually be open again to selling another minority stake in his hedge fund once more. Of course, we know that back in 2023, Citadel borrowed $400 million in a $400 million loan package. Before then, they borrowed another $500 million from somebody else. So it seems that Citadel is just borrowing money again and again and again. And Biotech Moose has said that Citadel has supposedly made billions in profits last year, but now for some reason needs to raise capital because they don't have the money to pay back to investors. And he said what's really going on, in his opinion, is that all of the profits its clients didn't withdraw, or all of the profits they made last year, are still tied up in collateral on leveraged short positions. Ken Griffin and Citadel can't get those billions they made last year out to pay back investors because the cash is still tied up on leveraged positions and being used as collateral. They can't get that cash out to give back to the investors without closing those positions, and of course they simply can't close the positions without causing a squeeze. And he said that shorting AMC and GameStop is simply tying up more of Citadel's cash. And what's interesting, as we can see from this screenshot, Citadel actually offered to let their clients take cash out of the hedge fund, but apparently most of their clients actually declined. And therefore this is only even a small portion of clients taking cash out of the hedge fund, and they can't even afford to repay that small number of clients. Imagine what would happen if loads of clients all tried to withdraw all at once. Now, Kristen has also tweeted saying there's a lot of behind the scenes chatter that the Trump administration will go after market manipulation, saying that in November 2024, Trump himself addressed rumours about selling his shares in TMNT or DJT, the parent company of Truth Social. In a post on Truth Social, he said those rumours of me selling shares are fake, untrue, and are probably illegal rumours and or statements made by perhaps market manipulators. It says that Trump also called for investigations into those spreading these rumours, suggesting they might be market manipulating short sellers. Now, of course, Trump takes office officially after the bank holiday on Tuesday, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens over the next few months. Specifically, if there's more of this kind of crackdown on short sellers, and which other short sellers also end up coming out of the woodwork, and which other hedge funds end up being closed down, and which other hedge funds end up going bankrupt as a result. So guys, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always guys, be sure to ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.